What is going on, guys? Alpha Garden here, and today we're back with another video. Now in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys the best loadouts for VOG coming up in Destiny 2. Now if you do not know, VOG is a raid from Destiny 1 that is coming to Destiny 2 on May 22nd, 2021. Now this will obviously start another series of raids, strikes, and nightfalls coming back. So this video will be helping you choose the best loadouts, the best gear and exotics to use, and when to use them. So let's get right into it. So first off, we're going to start off with weapons, and then I'll show you what's the best exotics for each character. So the best weapons you really want is have a scout rifle in hand, and a sniper rifle in hand, SMG, a pulse rifle, and now this is when it gets really important, is sleeper simulant, a chain reaction or cluster bomb rocket launcher, and anarchy. Now I haven't really looked at much of my mods yet, but what you really want to have is breach and clear. You really want to have a lot of other ones. I'll go over that later in the video. But the reason I want to say Night Watch is because we don't know what we're going to expect in VOG. We already know what the encounters are going to be like because it's from D1, but we don't have no idea how difficult it's going to be and how hard it's going to be. So you definitely want to have a long range weapon. Same thing with sniper rifles. Sniper rifles are always good for DPS. SMGs, just in case for you're in a close range battle, like in the first encounter when you're capturing the plates. You always want to have a pulse rifle on hand, so you can always again have another far range weapon, so you have an exotic in the first or second slot. And then sleeper simulant is a big one. Sleeper simulant is going to probably be the #1 strat for VOG until at least VOG gets changed or sleeper simulant gets nerfed, because I'm guarantee it's going to be overpowered. Now, in the recent update of Season of the Splicer, linear fusion rifles got a huge buff, which I went over in my last sleeper simulant video. I'll put the description down in the I'll put the link down in the description below. Excuse me. But the reason why this is so overpowered is because if you pair it up with these gauntlets, it increases your solar final blows, improved damage. So that means if you run sleeper simulant in a solar pulse or something like that, or even a solar hand cannon, that means that sleeper simulant damage will become even improved. And now that means it's basically more overpowered. With a classic sleeper simulant shot, you're probably going to do about 89-90k damage. With weapons of light, probably is over 100k. But with that, it's probably about 110k and maybe 105k, and that's a lot of DPS, especially for a day 1 VOG. Now, the reason why I say rocket launchers is because during the Templar, there is a lot of ads coming up through the middle. Now, obviously, this could change because they're just bringing it to D2, and they could change anything they want with it. So I highly suggest running a rocket launcher for these encounters, because you can take out a lot of ads within one shot. And having chain reaction, you can have chains reactions between every enemy, and having cluster bomb can take out a lot of ads. Now, another thing great anything about anarchy is you can put it on doorways. Now, a lot of the ads that come out of, or a lot of the ads that come here in VOG are coming out of doorways. Now, obviously, again, like I'm saying, I'm going to say this a lot during this video, is that since it's D2 VOG, this could have changed. So they may not be coming out of doors. They could be teleporting now. They could have been anything. But if they are coming out of doors, you could just put 2 anarchy on the door and just kill trap the ads that come out of the doorway. Now let's go over the exotics and supers you really want to use for VOG. Now, I already said the Path of the Burning Steps. You really want to have a Doom Marchers if you don't have anything else to run. Lion Ramparts are another great one for jumping puzzles. You don't really want to spend time dying on those. You really want to work hard and work fast. Next up you want to use is the Falling Star. That could be really good against the Templar or even Atheon, or just taking out a bunch of ads that are overpowered. Next you want to have Ursa Ferosa. I'll explain that in a minute. And if you really want to, have Helm of Saint 14 if you're running Bubble. For supers, you want to be running Thunder Crash. Grenades are all preference, but I highly suggest Pulse Nade, and again Jump. I highly suggest Towering Barricade. The lower one doesn't really have any use. And for Void, you run Military. All these nades are great for PvE, so I don't really care what you use, but again, Jump is optional. And the Barricade, Towering Barricade, again. Now, all these exotics, you want to be paired up with Ursa Ferosa with a shield banner, so you can keep trading off shields. You want to have Falling Star with Thunder Crash, because it increases Thunder Crash damage. And obviously, Lion Ramparts you can use with any super. And Helm of Saint 14 you want to use with Top Tree Void, which is obviously Bubble. So, let's go over to the Warlock, or hunter. Let's go over the hunter. So show you guys what kind of exotics you can use there. And here we are on the hunter, so let's go right into the hunter exotics. Again, the weapons are just going to be the same, so I didn't transfer or anything to make it look the same. But we're going to be going over the hunter exotics. Now there's quite a few here, most of them, a majority of them are helmets. But let's go over the supers first. So what we really want to use for supers, especially on a day 1 VOG or day 1 even raid, is you really want to run Bomb Tree, Night Stalker. Excuse me. No. And here we are on our hunter. Now there's got a lot of exotics for the hunter that we could be using in all sorts of different ways we could be using them. But let's go right into the supers first of what you can be using. Now what I highly recommend is using Bomb Tree Night Stalker, because you can throw Vanish and smoke up to I think 3 of your fire team. I could be wrong in that, so let me down in the comment section below if I'm wrong about that. But we can run any really nade except for the spike nade. Spike nades is really not the way to go for PvE. You really want to run Gambler's Dodge, so if you dodge near an enemy, you get your smoke back, and really jump is all preference. But Bomb Tree is really good. You can shoot multiple tethers, stun multiple or tether multiple enemies, and throw smoke and protect your teammates and yourself. And for the super, you really want to use Bomb Tree Golden Gun, because I'll explain in a minute for an exotic. Really, grenade is all preference. Bomb Tree is really good because you keep getting your throwing knife back, which one hits or it does more damage against precision damage, and then jumps all preference. So let's go right into the helmets first. So one of the biggest helmets is that I would choose is Celestial Nighthawk. And Celestial Nighthawk is very good because it does a lot of damage if you pair it up with the Bomb Tree Golden Gun, like I just said a few seconds ago. Another one is Wormhusk, because you can keep dodging if you have high mobility and keep getting health back over and over again. And another one, and this may be an unexpected one, is Bacchus. Now if you're running stasis, which you very could be, because in Templar hunters can be running stasis to throw in the middle and freeze a bunch of ads, or throw dusk fields to slow enemies down, or a bunch of other stuff like that. You can throw, or Bacchus, you can just Bacchus out of being shot in the way. You can teleport somewhere else, get the cover easier. Something of Bacchus, you could just dodge out of the way and get to safety. Now for arms, there isn't really much for arms. For chest piece, there's a big one, and that is the 6th Coyote. Now 6th Coyote is very good because you gain a second dodge. Now if you know where I'm going with this, that means if you get a second Gambler's Dodge, which means you can get double smoke bombs, and with high mobility, that means you can keep dodging and keep getting your smoke bombs back over and over again. Now Stompies is a very good one. I don't know about Star Eater yet. I haven't tested it out yet, but Star Eater may be very good with Bomb Tree Night Stalker, because if you pick up an orb and you keep shooting tethers at something, it could do a good amount of damage. But don't quote me on that yet. I haven't tested it out. But Stompies is a very good one for hunters if you want to do good in the jumping puzzles. But other than that, that's basically it for the hunter. Now let's go to the Warlock and let's wrap up the video. Or then I'll go into actually some videos of when to use them. And here we are on our Warlock. Now there's quite a few with our Warlock, so stay tuned. So for the first one, for the Voidwalker, you're really going to want to use Top Tree or Bottom Tree Voidwalker. It's whatever of preference for you, but I highly suggest the Top Tree. You can use Vortex Nades, Jump is preference, and obviously Healing Rifts, unless you have multiple Warlocks, and one could be running Healing, and one could be using Empowering Rift. And another one you could be using is Middle Tree Dawnblade, which is Well of Radiance. Jump is preference. I highly suggest Solar Nades. These ones aren't very long term, so just use Solar Nades. And like I just said with the Rifts, Healing or Empowering Rift, depending on how many Warlocks you have. And actually, you can actually use Middle Tree Stormcaller, which is Chaos Reach, which is very good for DPS if you have a good amount of teammates, or if you have some kind of good build. I'm not very much of a Warlock main myself, so I don't have a good build. But if you have a good build for DPS with Chaos Reach, go ahead and try it. Pulse Nade, Storm Nade, or Arc Bolt are all very good nades. Healing Rift or Empowering Rift is fine, and again, Jump is preference. I especially hate the Warlock jump, so I can't use any of them. But let's go into the exotics for the Warlock. There isn't much very helmets for the Warlock. I guess you could really try and use this Nazaric Sin if you have a void weapon, but I highly suggest not using it. You can use conservative hold, so because if you're using top tree, you can keep throwing giant nades or mini novas is what I call them, and just take out a lot of ads who walk into them. You can also use Karnstein armlets, which means when you melee kills, you get restored health for a short duration, which is pretty good. When you're using well, you could definitely be using this, which means whenever someone's in your fire team, or not your fire team, whenever someone's in your well and they shoot or kill anything, that means you get super energy, which for your next well. And if you're in like the middle tree, if you pop this in Templar and there's a bunch of ads everywhere, you can really get your super back fast. Another one, for the boots, we have quite a few. We have Geomags for the Chaos Reach. It just makes it last longer, and sprinting can make it go faster at the last bar. Lunafactions is pretty good too. It increases reload speed for healing rifts, and empowering rifts increases range, so I don't really highly recommend using empowering rifts if you're using this. But if you're using healing rifts, this is definitely the way to go. And obviously for transverse steps, it buffs sprint, which could be pretty helpful for jumping puzzles. But other than that, that's all the arms or exotics and loadouts I highly suggest using it. So let's go to the clips of each encounter, and I'll tell you which ones to really possibly, or the best options to use in those encounters. So let's go right to it. So who we are in the first encounter. Now obviously this is D1 gameplay in the background because D2 or VOG hasn't come out yet, but I just wanted to show you guys some encounters and what to use during them. So during this encounter there's going to be 3 plates, one on the left, one on the right, and one in the middle, and all you gotta do is protect them from ads. So right here I would probably suggest trying to use a scout rifle or a SMG sniper or even a pulse rifle sniper. But snipers are very good, and if you really want to use, I would highly suggest using a rocket launcher during this. This is not really the time for anarchy or sleeper simulant. So basically you just gotta keep sitting. You don't actually, I don't know if this is going to be like this in D2, but in D1 version you don't even have to stand on the platforms after it's fully formed. But all you have to do is just kill ads. So just use like a sniper rifle, SMG, sniper pulse, or a sniper pulse rocket launcher or something like that. So that's basically the first encounter. It's super easy and your team shouldn't have any problem with it. So let's get to the next encounter. Let's go. So once you get to this next encounter, well, it's actually pretty far in the next encounter, but all you gotta do is just keep walking after the first encounter and you eventually get to this area. Now in this area, all you have to do is just protect confluxes, one in the middle, then there's actually 3 phases. One in the middle, then left and right, and then left, right, and middle. So all there is just ads, and you just gotta watch out for the boss. Now what I highly suggest here using is a pulse rifle or a scout rifle and a sniper, and using definitely your rocket launcher because there is a lot of ads, because in between each round there is going to be temptations or just yellow barred or just ads in the middle where you just want to shoot a rocket launcher down there and just take out a lot of them. Like you saw in the beginning of this clip, there's a lot of ads in the middle. And also make sure you don't step in that green stuff because you're going to have to go into that white sparkly stuff or everyone will die. But after that, do all that protection, and then you should be able to go into the next encounter, which is oracles, which is going to be a fun one. So right here we are in the oracle encounter. Now this oracle encounter is going to be quite confusing, so if you have to, I highly suggest writing down notes of where the oracles are. Now there's one oracle in the middle, one in the close left, close right, middle left, middle right, and then hidden left and hidden right, which is where hidden left is where I am right now in the background gameplay. But eventually, throughout the gameplay, you'll see me just destroy a few of them. Now, throughout this encounter, there are goblins or hobgoblins on the sidelines or far out on the sidelines sniping at you, so make sure you take them out. So I highly suggest using a scout rifle or sniper for this encounter. And then you really want to use a shotgun actually. So shotgun scout rifle may be the best play here because when the oracles pop up, you're going to want to take them out fast, because if you do not, you wipe, or you're going to have to start the encounter or the rotation all over again. Now in this version, I'm pretty sure it's 9 or 6 times. I can't remember which, but I'm pretty sure it's 9 times because it takes a while to do the encounter. But all you gotta do is keep killing these oracles over and over again, but each time they pop up, one more will be spawned in, or more will be spawned in, so make sure everyone's out there looking for the oracles. Now you can know when an oracle spawns in when there's a sound cue that pops up, which will be quite noticeable because it's quite loud. Again, throughout these past 2 encounters, that Templar will be up there shooting you, so try and stay hidden. But the best shotgun I highly suggest using is the full auto shotgun. If you have a full auto shotgun, which I don't think there's any really good full auto shotguns in Destiny 2, so you're really going to want to use a shotgun that does high DPS or that just shoots quite fast. It doesn't have to be full auto itself, but just make sure you get a good amount of shots in before the oracle disappears. But other than that, all you have to do is keep destroying the oracles, keep killing the goblins every time. So after you finish a phase of the oracles, more goblins spawn in, and you just keep doing that until you kill it or defeat all the oracles. Now in the next encounter, you do the Templar, and which I'll explain to you in a few seconds. Now in this encounter, it's fairly simple, but again, this is Destiny 1, anything is simple. So there's going to be 2 teams. One person is going to be holding the relic, and the other 5 people are going to be looking out for oracles and trying to help the relic person to stay alive from all the ads and doing DPS to the Templar, because if you're holding the relic, you cannot shoot any weapons except for the shield you're holding. Now after you kill one of the oracles, but it could be and as many oracles as it is in Destiny 2, again this could be a lot different, the shield holder will have to shoot a giant bomb at the Templar, and it will lower down the shields of the Templar. Once that happens, there will be a little bubble around you. You can easily just shoot out of it. It's not very hard to kill or get out of. And after that, you begin the DPS phase. Now here, you're definitely going to want to use a sniper, a pulse, and the sleeper simulant. Sleeper simulant is very good. As you can see in D1, I'm using it, and that's how good it is. While we're doing that, the relic runner is going to be running between pads, so the Templar does not teleport. Now if the Templar does teleport, that's okay. Just kill the oracle again, or how many oracles there are. There may not even be oracles. It may be different. And then you shoot your giant bomb at the Templar, lower shield, take out the shield around you, and just keep doing DPS. You keep doing that until the Templar is dead. Fairly simple. It's not that hard, but it's pretty hard for the relic runner because there's a lot of ads shooting at him. But you should be fine. But since this is D2 and it's going to be really pretty hard on day 1, since it's going to be challenge mode, make sure you be running lots of bubbles, lots of tethers, and even lots of well of radiances. So let's go into the next encounter, which is the Golgron pit, or Golgron pit, yeah. Now here we are in the Golgron pit. Now this could be a lot different in Destiny 2, which is why I'm not going to explain how to go through it. But it's basically just a little maze where there's harpies going around. If a harpy sees you, you have to kill it before it blows up everything, and it kills you and wipes your entire team. Again, this might be different in Destiny 2, so I will not be giving a guide to this, but I highly suggest using a sword. Now in this counter, this is the second counter before the final boss, so congratulations if you made it this far. Awesome job. So in this part, it's fairly simple. All you gotta do is kill the gatekeeper right off the beginning is what my team does, but in the Destiny 2 version, you most likely won't be able to do that. So once you kill the gatekeeper, there's going to be 2 plates on the left and right. Left side is Mars. Remember this. Left side is Mars. Right side is Venus. Now, opening those portals will transcend you into a left side, which is Mars, and where you can pick up a relic, which is again the shield thing we saw back in the Templar or the Templar encounter. Same thing on the right side. So you're going to split into up to 3 teams of 2. 2 people go on Mars, 2 people go on Venus, and then 2 people stay back to stay on the pads, which you will see in a few seconds. If you stay on those pads, just like in the first encounter, you gotta stay on them and make sure no ads get on them, because it will shut down the portal, which means your teammates will be stuck in there. Now during this, one of the relics is mostly the biggest responsibility is to cleanse them, because when you're Mars or Venus, you start to have a cloud of darkness covering you. It won't kill you, but if it gets to a certain extent, you won't be able to see anything. So the job of the relic holder is to cleanse them so they can fully see again. Now watch me, I stand on this portal and my teammates go in. Now I think during this time it's a 5-man, so obviously there would be 2 people over here and then 2 people on the other side, and then 2 people in, or yeah. But you understand what I'm saying. But this is a very easy encounter. All you gotta keep doing is until you get the 2 relics and the 2 relic holders come back. After that, everyone goes to the middle and protects the conflict while enemies come in from all 3 sides, middle, left, and right portals. And after that, you get to go right into Atheon. Now when I say right into Atheon, I mean it. That means there is no downtime. Just as after you complete the encounter, you get your loot. There is no chest to take. You just get your loot, and then it starts the next encounter. So let's go right into it. So here you are on Destiny 2 Atheon Bog, final boss. Now this is not a very complicated raid, but again, or raid boss, but again, this may be different in Destiny 2. Now in D1, you could shoot the Atheon in as much as you want and get him a little weak before you get teleported randomly, which is what will happen at first. So what you want to do is have people stand on both left and right portals, or actually you don't want anyone to stand on them. You're gonna keep doing DPS to the Atheon until he teleports 3 random people to a destination, which is when Team Call Us is gonna come in handy. It's either gonna be Venus or it's gonna be Mars. Now in this hand, it's gonna be Venus, so I'm gonna step on the plate and make sure it comes all the way up. Meanwhile, in the portal room, one person's gonna have the relic, and there's gonna be oracles in that room. While the other 2 people shoot the relics, or the oracles, the relic holder is going to be cleansing them and making sure they can see and trying to help them while they can. Other people in this room with the portals, all we're going to be doing is killing ads, and make sure you stay away from these harpies because they are supplicants. If you do not want to know what a supplicant is, it's basically a harpy that runs at you and blows up. After the relic holder comes back in, you get a 30-second timer, which is called Time's Vengeance, which is when you're going to be able to do DPS to Atheon while he's standing still. Now when you're standing it gives you extra DPS and actually heals you. So when you're using a rocket launcher, if you do use a rocket launcher, you have to keep jumping out of the bubble. If you're using Sleeper, you should be able to just stay in the bubble. But again, this could be changed in Destiny 2 VOG. What my team did was we put a Weapons of Light bubble on the back, so we can just keep running into it back and forth. And then we just repeat the encounter again. Now since the Atheon is low, I'm just going to keep DPSing him here. But after one of my teammates died, so I'm going to be worrying about the plates. They call out Mars, I come to the right side, worry about the supplicants, and then just wait for them to come back in. Now this may seem like a very easy encounter, but then again, the background gameplay is Destiny 1 VOG. So it may be very different, mechanics may be different, ads might be different. Bungie did say there are going to be a few champions in this, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see champions in a raid like we saw in Deepstone Crypt. So hope these tips and tricks video helped you guys out. Let me down in the comment section below if you complete VOG Day 1 and how you liked it. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, put on notifications for new streams, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.